My first league was a short season A ball, so it's only 80 games because you've already played 60 in college, right? And so just a summer league through like the playoffs, and it was actually the one around here that the Cyclones are in, Staten Island Yankees when they existed, and I was on a group called the Oneonta Tigers, which has since changed out. But so my first professional job was signing that contract and going.
How did that feel? Like, did it feel like a culmination of your life experience, or?
Yeah, a little surreal. Draft day, I wasn't a first or second round pick.
Right.
I had graduated college, so you have no leverage, and you're not expecting a huge contract. I was playing basketball in the backyard, like waiting for someone to call me. And I had talked to just about every team except for the Tigers and a few others. And they were the ones that called, and you're on a flight the next day with everybody else who's like very excited. So I made a lot of good friends there.
How many people from Yale get drafted?
Good question. Average, maybe 1 or 2 a year.
I was going to say, it doesn't seem like a big feeder.
Yeah. Again, scouts are really good. And so you could go to a lot of places and get drafted if you're good. So you one of the ideas of going to Yale and not University of Southern California, if you want to play professional baseball, it's like if you're good enough, they'll find you. And so that worked for me. Again, as a pitcher, I was a closing pitcher throwing like low to mid 90s.
Right.
So it was kind of clear at that point. There was 2 other people drafted. One of my best friends out of a senior year, and then my catcher as a junior went 6th round. And he was an All-American. So that's a little bit of an anomaly, but we've had some successes every decade or so. We get someone in the league for a while, and my catcher, Ryan Lavarnway, just retired 2 years ago. So he played until he was 36 on 8 major league teams.
Wow. So the second best baseball player to have been drafted out of Yale.
That's
you
right.
Obviously being number 1, right?
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good experience. And look, there's a lot of pitchers and a lot of folks that show up. And I think the probability of going to the majors is like 1 out of 7.
Yeah.
And as I learned through my career, a lot of it has to do with consistency, not getting injured.
Yeah.
Right. So I have a lot of good friends that were on their way and they got a freak injury or some part of their body wasn't holding up. And the folks that make it and last a long time are just freaks. They have the right ligaments in the right spots. And
it's kind of like the military. It's like a lot of people just, even if they want 20-year careers, sometimes their knees give out, backs give out, they fall off an obstacle course. And, it's like that's the end of the line.
That's it. So I had a good friend, a mentor of mine. He was actually out of an Ivy League school. So I played against him at one point, and he was in AA as a catcher. Incredible season. And, had a freak accident where someone slid into him, broke his hand, and that was it as a catcher. I've also had friends that, pitched 3 innings, struck out 6 or 7 guys, and then got cut the next day. Yeah. And so that matters.
You mentioned some back issues. Was that happening while you were in college, or is that a down the line thing?
Yeah. So I was a really good prospect going into my junior year. I played in a summer league. I had tryouts at a lot of major league stadiums, like projected 2nd through 5th round kind of thing. Enough to leave. For baseball, you can leave after your junior year and not complete your senior. So I thought I was on that path. I got injured towards the end of that summer, and I had a horrible junior year. My ERA was 6.48. When a pitcher can quote their ERA, it's either really good or really bad.
Yeah.
So I can quote my really good ERA. Junior year was 6.48, and I was supposed to be really good. I herniated a disc, and I was just pushing it too hard. Didn't realize it. I was 19, 20 at this time. And so blew out the disc, took a lot of cortisone shots to get back into it. And as a pitcher, you're relying on rotation. And so if you can't rely on your back, you're relying on your elbow or your shoulder. And so kind of the beginning of the end of me having as much fun as I wanted to in baseball came from having a back injury. So I had a really good ERA my senior year, but I was probably throwing 92 to 93, which is great, but it's nothing special. Before that, I was, mid 90s, which is a bit of a difference. Put on 2 miles an hour, you're in the top echelon. And so that kind of plagued me, but I was captain of the team. All my best friends were there. I'd never thought about what I would do if I left and didn't do senior year, but I didn't have to. And I got drafted and everything worked out. So
how does that carry through into your professional career? Like, did it just improve over time, or was it just something that you're battling your career?
with my back for baseball.
Yeah.
You kind of had two options. So you fill out this form when teams are looking to draft you. Mm-hmm. Hey, Steve, I saw you, really good inning. Fill out this form. Yep. It's a piece of paperwork, right? It says Cincinnati Reds on it, and you fill it out. They ask like two questions about your health, and one of those questions is, have you ever felt pain down your leg? For pitchers and position players.
Yeah.
Because a lower back injury is really, really, really tough to recover from. Now, when you're 19, it has a chance to recover better, but you're still playing in the season. You're relying a lot on your body, and there's PT you can do, but there's nothing natural about throwing with one side of your body and twisting thousands of times a year. So you kind of had two options at one point. You can get surgery and hope that it all goes away, or you manage it. You put in the inserts, you do the extra stretches, you stay as strong as you can. And what happened to me is every time I went into a season, I would have an elbow injury. And I knew it was because of my back and I had to rely on it. As soon as you have an elbow injury, it's 6 weeks riding around on a bus, living in motels without being able to play. And that would happen maybe 2 to 3 times a year, to the point where you're on the mound hoping that you don't sprain your elbow when your job is to strike out the hitter, right? Or get the hitter out. And so, it grounds you. And I didn't go get the surgery because I thought I could manage it, but it's definitely a different way to play.
I don't want to like hammer this home, so if you don't want to talk about it, we can keep moving forward. But does that like not instill fear, but like, are you actively thinking about that? You mentioned like you go up to the mound, you're worried about that, but like, does that affect your play? Are you able to drown it out or get into the, the zone?
Yeah. And I guess I'll preface it with this. There's a lot of folks that play at a really high level that have things that plague them, right? No one in the Super Bowl is 100%, right?
Yeah.
So part of being a professional is the mindset and getting in and doing what you have to do. I had mentioned a little bit, my ERA senior year was 1. 1 flat. I never lost my senior year. I never blew a save my senior year. I let in 3 runs over 27 innings. I only gave up those runs because I sprained my elbow in a game and I continued to pitch because I thought it was the best shot for us to get to the Ivy League championship. So no one scored off me when I was healthy.